G'day! In today's video I'm replacing a display on a Samsung Galaxy A12s. Now looking at these two right here, you think that they'd be the exact same part. The only giveaway is the different branding on the actual flex connector. And you'll be pretty much right. This one here is the A12, this one's the A12s. Slightly wider screen by a couple of pixels, I believe it is. It will still display on the older screen in the A12 if I connect the main board to it. It will say Samsung Galaxy. It will give me vertical lines across the side. That one there is the wrong screen for the model. We need to use a A12s display, or SMA127F. Compared to, it doesn't actually have the model on there. Up here we have A12. Up here we have A12, but they are not the same. So the steps on this are identical to the A12 with the A12s. I'm having it heating up the back. I've already got the SIM tray removed, and from here we should be able to get into it. So to begin with, I'm going to pry into the phone from this side. Like so, and from there I should almost be able to grab it and just pull a little bit. There we go. Do be cautious on the side with the button on it, this side, as that will remain connected. So best to open it like a book, like so. And once we're open from there, I'll use a pair of tweezers to disconnect here. And it's a matter of taking out all the Phillips head screws we can see, and then we'll be swapping it from the old board to the new board. This particular one did drive me to a bit of madness, where I did have 3 brand new A12 screens, all of which producing the same effect, until I noticed the flex cable and got in contact with my supplier, and found out that there is actually a slightly different revision, even though when you first turn the phone on, it still says A12. So, good job with mid refreshes. With those screws out, we should be able to lift up this panel here, like so, and disconnect the battery, disconnect the video connector. We do have 1 screw holding the main board in. Now I have had heat still on here, but I'm going to turn that off. And put that here. Now disconnect the antenna cable over here, and I should be able to lift this up and out. Now you will also need to swap out the vibrating motor, that one there. If you're lucky, the adhesive will stay on the back of it, and that will just stick in the new one. Put that in there. Yep, that's good. Now I'll put the main board in here, drop it in. I have to change over the loudspeaker. Depending on what you get, you may have to. There we go. Next up, I'm going to focus on the bottom section of the phone down here with the charger port. Now these screws are coming out easy for me, as I have had them apart once before. Typically they do get stuck in the plastic, which from a repair standpoint is annoying, because you try and rip the loudspeaker out and they all go flying. Now if I pry just under it, it should lift up and out. There we go. I'm going to leave the antenna connected. I'm going to disconnect the flex cable here, and I can lift that out like so. My replacement also has the right parts there, so I don't have to worry about replacing them. And all the little bits are already there, so all I need to do is put this in, put the antenna connector in, feed it up, and connect it onto here. It should make a little snap noise when it's in the right position. That's on, and you should be able to just push it, nudge it, and it should spin or pivot. If it's pivoting, it should be connected. Next up, connect the flex connector down here, line it over the top, wiggle it, push down. That should lock it in. Next up is the battery. Batteries are quite challenging to remove, so do proceed with a lot of caution. If you do have any form of rubbing alcohol, I recommend spraying that down there at the bottom of it, and that will eat up the adhesive. You don't want to bend the battery. Bending the battery is bad. So you don't want it to go crink and kink. You want it to just come out as one. So they are a bit of a challenge to be able to get in there. And with the battery out and the side, we're pretty much done with the old frame. That can get put away. Let's focus on the new. I'll put this cover back on down here and put those screws back in. I will use some fresh new adhesive to stick the battery down. There we go. I'll move that out of the way just because it's no longer needed on there. And I can put some more pressure on it and screw it in. Now, a couple of these screws are different down the bottom here. Where are we? We have a finer thread, which will go down the bottom here. I reckon I used one of those just before in the wrong spot. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. They're all threaded in anyway, so that's all good. Next up is the adhesive for the battery. So I'll just simply put it like that. That's more than enough for it, just to stop the battery wobbling around when you're walking. There. Connect up the front facing, or the LCD connector. Now from here, also reconnect the battery. Put the shield back over the top. Make sure you do have the black screw here. And should be able to push that down. If it doesn't push down, we should click it and hold in position mostly pretty well. And after that, put some more screws back in. And once we've done that, we're nearly at the last step that's required, which is reconnecting this connector here, which should be able to fold it over like a book, stretch it out a little bit, line it up, and push down. That should click it in. From there, you should be able to fold it over, back into itself, push down, bam. Make sure there's no paper there holding it, whatever that is. Click, 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 and bam, we should be done with the A12s, or as Samsung like to call it, the A12. Hope that helps, and I'll see you guys later. This phone is going to go on charge. Bye.